We don't use any other clock other than the tide, those of us that work on the water. It governs our lives. Well, the family had been involved in oysters right from the very beginning. So historically, I had heard stories about it. And as I was working at all these other things and running in circles, cackling like a rooster with its head half chopped off some of the time, I needed something to relax. And I always thought if you were going to relax, it'd be a good idea to make money while you were doing it. So I started out with a license to recreationally fish oysters, because that was relaxing and I loved oysters. So then I had the opportunity to move that to a commercial license. So I get commercial oyster license and started doing that just as a hobby because it relaxed me. And so, you know, I knew the industry. Is what basically happened. Most mornings when I wake up, right from the time I was a little kid, my room looked towards the bay, and I'd get up first thing and I'd look at the bay, and it's always the first thing I do. When my legs grew long enough when I was a kid, I headed for the bay. My mother cut me off the first time, so then I figured, well, I'd have to go over in the woods and they wouldn't see me, so I snuck around that way. My uncle gave me a boat when I was 11, so I didn't drown myself in the bay. And I've been at it ever since. So when I got so I could make a living here, it was even better. Good place. Good place. It's a good place. It's a sustainable industry. It's something that anytime I'm fortunate enough to talk to people that are thinking about farming shellfish or who are doing it, I tell them they need to feel really good about it, because shellfish are something that's so great for the environment. You know, it removes carbon from the water and sequesters it in shell for so long, for millions of years. And it also gives something that starts the welt cycle. When you sell an oyster or a clam or something, you get money for it. And anyone I know in the oyster or shellfish industry are like me. They get money, they spend it. And that goes into the local economy, and it's a really good thing. It's something you can feel good about. So, anyway. And by the way, I can't swim. Never learned. I'm too busy floating on it. The range for the American oyster is from mid-coast Patagonia to north of the St. Lawrence River. The oyster acclimatizes to the particular environmental conditions. So you could take our oyster from here down to the Gulf and it would survive, it would do really well. But you couldn't take an oyster from the Gulf and bring it up here because it wouldn't. Oyster farming is like a lot of things. It can be as simple as you want to make it. To make it simple, you work in harmony with nature. Or it can get as complicated as you want, where you grow oysters in an area where they really want to grow, and you use artificial systems, bag systems and cage systems and things. So, you know, there's a lot of options in it. But really, they're all good. They're cleaning the water and creating wellness. So. We also sneak in a little fishing from time to time.
Well, when people came in here in 1783, and ever since, on the family farm, there's always been 3 generations, and they always stood together. And my greatest joy is when there's myself and when Rachel, when we're all together doing something. It's just something that's a part of our heritage or DNA, and it's just a wonderful feeling just to have them there, and it's really great.
I'm to the age that I should be retiring, and when I thought that I was going to be able to manage that a little easier than what it is, I bought a boat that's sitting up in back there. And my dream was always to circumnavigate the globe. So I bought the boat I could do it in. And then all of a sudden, after I get the boat and I start working on it, well, how long is this going to take me? Well, 4 or 5 years. And then I think about all the grandchildren I have, and I count them as 9 and 1 great-granddaughter. And I'm really going to lose touch with them over 5 years. So I decided that probably that dream was one that wasn't going to happen. So now I'm going to work on it, and it'll be a floating cottage for around the Gulf of St. Lawrence when I get a little more spare time.
If I had my way, I would never charge for an oyster, because in the native culture, food is something you share, and an oyster was something that was special in the culture and something to be shared at a party or a gathering or a get-together. But being practical, and thank goodness I have a wife that's a lot more practical than me, and a daughter that's more practical than I am, they're able to do it in such a way that I make money and they can keep me going doing the silly things.
My friend in England, he says, Charles, you go in somewhere and people take one look at you, they see that goofy grin, they know right off the bat that you have a problem, that let's say you're special. I don't not much like that term. It's got twisted around. I think everybody's special. But he says they go over and they put their arm around you and they look after you. And they tell you all sorts of things. And that's the truth. And unless they tell me, don't ever do this, Charles, then I'll go and I'll do it. So we have a shellfish hatchery. We learned that by what things people told us and showed me. And people take good care of me, take good care of us. A lot of good people in the world. So let's not let that very few that are out there spoil it for all of us.
What do you enjoy about your jobs?
Oh, well, I wake up in the morning. I feel the way I did when I was 19 or 20. Then I try to move. The reality comes home to me. But I have so much to look forward to when I drag myself out here and look out the window at the bay. And then when I get breakfast eaten and I get out there, I could go out on the bay, I can harvest. There's always something there that brings me close to nature. It's very difficult for me to put into words. Whether it's my First Nations part of me or whether it's just the way I'm put together or what, I don't know. But there always has been a relationship between myself and the land and the creatures of the ocean and of the forest. I just can't quite put it in words. It's just a feeling, and it keeps me going.